Waka waka guys, what is up? Doing another March podcasting madness with a guest. Today's episode, I'm joined by JJ Claxton. What's up, brother?
Hey, what's up, man?
We're gonna talk about the new Batman that came out. First and foremost, let me just go ahead and give you props, bro, because you're running that K100 TikTok. You killing it, bro. You're killing it. All the clips. I don't even know where you get the clips from. I'm assuming something that Joe sends you, or maybe Hughesy's YouTube or whatever. But dude, props. I heard that opened the door for you for some other creative outlet or whatever. Like,
Thank you, man. It's now most of the clips I get it from the podcast itself.
okay,
So like I take just a clip and then whatever it has to do with, I get a video. I try to get something funny.
yeah.
But yeah, I just hope that with this it could lead me to different
Oh yeah,
doors.
yeah. That's what I'm hoping for with this podcast, dude. I've been doing it for 3 years now, and like I'll throw in random stuff, like I'll throw in a fake commercial or whatever, and just trying to be creative with it. And but
Also like the Alamo theaters. Have you ever went to the Alamo
yeah,
theater?
yeah. How the draft house, how they have like little like previews or like random stuff. I love how they do that stuff because I'll get like random clips. Because like let's say because I went to last one that I can comes to mind. I went to go see RoboCop, the newest one. Like they tried to reboot it, and they
Yeah,
had a bunch of RoboCop clips and this and that. And then they did a thing where they were showing. I like how they show older movies. Like
yeah.
I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of Batman '89. Like
Okay.
I love that movie. I watched it since I was a kid. I watch it now. It's my go-to. I mean, I got here. I don't know if you can see in the camera. I got that comic book
All
that
right.
I only got one, but I went because they were showing it like in theaters, basically. And like dude, I was like 2 years old when it came out. There was no way I was gonna watch it in theaters. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go watch it. And it was badass. And they show the clips from all the Batmans and Japanese Batman. Like they find random stuff, and it's so cool. Oh, excuse me. But let's get off. What are your top 5 Batman movies, and where does this one sit?
Oh, wow, top five. Um, I did like the Dark Knight. Like when that came out, I like wow, like this is like the best thing I ever seen. Like just like the acting, like Heath Ledger, like he left like an impression for me when that movie came out. I was like 13, so I was like in that age that like I was liking like
Yeah,
art and stuff.
yeah.
So I just fell in love with it. And then when I was a kid, you might hate me. I used to like the Joe Schumacher's film.
I got you. I ain't gonna hate. Hey, you like what you like.
Now when I watch it, uh, like
I mean, I get it. As a kid, you seeing all the bright colors and like
yeah,
all the theatrics and like because when Batman Forever came around, I was like 8 or 9. I think I was 8, going on 8 years old, or I might have been turned 8 or whatever. And then when the Batman and Robin came out, I turned 10. So around the same age. I mean, I grew up like watching these thinking, yeah, Batman. Yeah, I didn't think
yeah,
of it as, oh, hey, that one has Bat. Like it wasn't until I was older when I realized this is kind of corny. This is kind of like, what?
yeah,
All the puns and everything. And but as a kid, you're just seeing it as like, because I grew up watching the reruns of the Adam West TV show. And
okay,
so growing up watching that, and then you go into Batman '89 and Batman Returns, and like all the stories that were told about why Tim Burton wasn't brought back to make the third Batman film because they had this partnership with McDonald's, and they're trying to sell it to kids, and they can't sell a gothic looking like a disfigured penguin and all this stuff that's not for kids. And Tim Burton, I mean, he's ever since then he has a history of making like this gothic style of films. And it's even, I mean, look at Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was kind of gothic in a way, but at the same time kind of like cartoony. And then I found out later that he directed Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And so you try to see, okay, what part of his directing is in, I mean, because obviously Pee-wee's not a gothic film.
Yeah, it's not.
It has gothic tones, like the was it Big Marge or the truck driver? She kind of does like she does that little thing, almost like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
So, and you see this, and it's like, okay, cool. Then I understand. And then later on, he made Sleepy Hollow, right?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite films.
Yeah, and I went and watched that. It's been a while since I've seen that. I want to go back and watch it because I remember it would come out on like the movie channel at the time.
It holds up, like even
Yeah.
with like the CGI that they use, like it holds up.
Yeah.
But I can't name you the top 5 films, but I will put this film like second on my list, and then first will be Dark Knight for me.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like I said, Batman 89 is gonna be the top one. This is a close second though, and Dark Knight. It's like squeezed between the two because Dark Knight was really, really the story, and then just the awe of it. Like you never see a lot of Batman movies start off in the daytime.
Yeah.
Everything is night or twilight, or because that's he was you know, he's a hero, he's a creature of the night, if you will. And Dark Knight starts off in the scene with a joke with the robbery, and it's like, okay, cool. You're kind of thrown a little bit because, okay, what's gonna happen? Like, is Batman gonna show up in the middle of the daytime? Well, he doesn't, but Batman Begins, I remember at the end of it when they hint at who's the possible villain for the next film, because that's always the, hey man, who can we get to be the villain for the next film? Yeah. And the Joker is always going to be the top one because he is basically the yin to Batman's yang, right? And so, not to get off on a tangent, we kind of linked up, talked about what we thought about the film on Twitter. Yeah. And then recently they came out with the whole deleted scene of this Batman's Joker. And
I was surprised that they just put it on Twitter. Like they didn't save it for the DVD or anything like that.
Me too. I think a lot of people were fantasy booking who's going to be the Joker. Like there was this joke that Kristen Stewart was going to be the Joker of this Batman world or whatever. Yeah. And it's and Matt Reeves is such a good director. And when I heard he was going to be doing a solo Batman film, at the time it was going to be Ben Affleck. And it was going to be an actual detective film, which is at the root of who and what the Batman comics were, because DC Detective Comics, you know. And so I was like thrilled. And then he decided he wanted to quit being Batman, and all this other stuff happened. So they recasted him, or they just worked around what they could do because they're still going to make the Batman film. And then when he was declared the new Batman, what did you think?
For me, I was like, cause Robert, like for me, when I think about Bruce Wayne, like I felt like Ben Affleck like looked like, you know, like that playboy guy at night who gets the ladies and stuff. Yeah. And you wouldn't imagine him to be, you know, the Batman, you know.
Yeah.
So,
because
yeah.
I'm sorry, but like I was gonna say, because that's brute. I mean, Superman has the glasses. He kind of nerdy, like Christopher Reeve style. He'd be like, "Oh, hey, this weight is too heavy for me. Here you go." You know, he's like, everybody's like, "Who's this clown? This dude ain't Superman." So the Batman and the Bruce Wayne characteristics have to be different for him to kind of do his thing in the daytime and at the nighttime. Yeah. And so I get what you're saying. I didn't mean to cut you off, brother.
No. But I know that he's well. I know he's from Twilight, but I know he's a great actor. Well, the independent films he has done, and so I was like, okay, well, you know, I have an open mind. I'm not gonna be like these people that quickly attacks, you know.
That's my little girl in the doorway. Sorry. She's in the other room. But yeah, a lot of people, even when Ben Affleck was cast in that role, and even Michael Keaton, people were just, I mean, obviously Twitter wasn't a thing back then, but people did vocalize their feelings on having the dude who played Beetlejuice be Batman.
Yeah.
Like he's short, he's this Mr. Mom guy. What the fuck is going on? And this and that. Same thing with Ben Affleck. People were clowning, even this is with social media. People were clowning and making memes. I remember when they released the first image of him in the bat suit in the black and white, he looked all depressed, like looking down, looking sad. And people made memes of him on the swing, being someone like swinging by himself. And it's like a lot of people will clown and just poke fun at what's being released on social media and whatever in the internet. But when it comes down to the actual movie, when you buy the ticket, sit down and watch it, and take it in, and you're like, holy shit, this dude is killing it.
Yeah.
And so with this Batman, he's not this playboy philanthropist. Hey, I'm Bruce Wayne. Hey guys. He's kind of like, I don't want to fuck the world. I'm on a mission. I'm here to try to change this city, you know, like and right off the bat, he has that dialogue, which I thought was really cool, really unique, because no other Batman film had that. But it was like a comic, you know, you're reading a comic book, you have that dialogue, or that voiceover box.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking, that's cool, but is it going to be throughout the whole movie? And then right after, when he gets to the Batcave, you see he's just writing in a journal.
Yeah.
And these are the words
I like that, because I was like, it makes, for me, it was like you said, like a comic book, like a Mark Miller type of thing, you know, that the way Batman would, you know, have his inner monologue, the way he will speak.
Yeah.
So honestly, like I don't know if we're going into this, but I would say like this is like the best Batman so far, because I felt like Christian Bale, great actor, but I feel like the villains were more. And when I say villains, I'll say the Joker, like took over that movie. Like Heath Ledger took over that movie. Like that was his film. That wasn't Christian Bale's film. That was the Joker right there, you know?
Yeah, I think a lot of that was because he died before it came out.
Yeah.
So if let's say an actor passes away for whatever reason, and then the word around the cooler was like, well, he took his Joker role a little too serious and it affected him. And so you're like, how's this movie going to be? Like, how is he going to be in this movie? Is he going to kill it? And so part of you is like, oh, pobrecito, this guy died. How good, you know? And so you go in to watch it and he kills it. Yeah, definitely. But a lot of the Christopher Nolan, like he took, like these were villains he didn't fall into a vat of chemicals. The reason he smiles is because he got like almost like a real life origin story. He got scarred from whatever reason, his dad or what he says, his girlfriend or whatever. He likes to say, you know, I got these scars. Yeah, that whole thing. And so, and then like a lot of other villains, like Ra's al Ghul was a guy who faked being like in the Asian guy. That's Ra's al Ghul in this. And what was his name? Oh, the guy from Taken.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah, but the character he played, was it Drake or something?
Oh, Raja Ghul. Like,
because he played
the name that they choose.
Yeah, like he played a different, like he was the real Ra's al Ghul, but he kind of used like almost like Star Wars Phantom Menace. He used a duplicate or like a face to the name. And then of course Bane, excuse me, Bane, played by Tom Hardy, he didn't have venom coming through his veins, and he didn't grow, and he was just a built dude with whatever reason he was wearing a mask to breathe or whatever. And so there was like a real life why these characters are the way they are, like almost built in reality and not built in this comic book world or whatever. I think one thing I had seen was that people were talking about Robert Pattinson's Batman, like who was the guy behind the tech, who made these gadgets and Batmobile, and who helped him. And obviously it was Alfred. It's always been Alfred, but Lucius Fox was the guy behind the bat in the Christopher Nolan series. So like they were trying to figure out, well, is he in this world? What's going on? But I like that he did have all these gadgets, but his Batmobile wasn't crazy.
Yeah.
It wasn't a tank. It wasn't like a souped up, where it looks like Michael Keaton's, Batmobile. It was just a hot rod, souped up engine. And it had the iconic flame booster or whatever.
And I like it better because it's like, it's a car that you could see yourself driving. Like if you had the money,
Yeah.
But you could see yourself driving it, not that big. Don't get me wrong. I like what's the name they had it? The Tumbler.
Tumbler, yeah.
Yeah, that was cool, but this car was like fast and the sound it makes, the engine like
yeah,
that was crazy, man.
I like it. I mean, it was bulletproof. It had the engine and everything. And you see him kind of like working it in the back cave. I like how he utilized a motorcycle throughout the whole movie. Like it wasn't crazy souped up. It was just sleek enough for him. And then what's that girl's name? Zoe Kravitz.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah. That whole story before, like she auditioned for Catwoman 10 years ago and she didn't get it because she was too urban.
Yeah.
But I mean, throughout the history of that character of Catwoman, whether it's Celine Kyle or whoever, I mean, you had Eartha Kitt in the TV show. There was like 3 different women that played her in the Adam West show. Of course, you got Michelle Pfeiffer and then Anne Hathaway for Dark Knight Rises. I like how she wasn't in an all-out cat costume. Like her cat burglar mask had the little ears, but it wasn't almost like like if this person was Catwoman, but a cat burglar, how would she look? She'd look, she wouldn't have anything where her clothes could leave evidence or whatever. Like, I thought that was pretty cool. The other thing I wanted to say, the Penguin. I thought it was kind of I thought it was kind of cool how it, in a way, it was kind of like an Easter egg or an homage to Batman Returns, because those villains was Catwoman and Penguin.
Yeah.
And they're both in this movie, and I thought that was pretty cool.
I like this what's his name, Colin Farrell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like the Penguin in this movie. I heard they're gonna give him his own spin-off, right?
I believe so. Yeah, he was almost unrecognizable, and to hear some of the like interviews and stuff, how he went into the character, I thought it was pretty badass how he wasn't the bad guy. He was the guy behind one of the bad guys. And then, spoiler alert, guys, the guy he's under dies. And so he kind of sees his opening to be the head honcho. Almost like if you remember the Gotham show, how when Fish Mooney got killed in one of the first season. And so whoever was underneath her kind of like rose to power in a way. That whole underground, under mafia world was really, it was talked about in the Schumacher Batman. I think it was Batman Forever. And it was talked about in the Christopher Nolan almost. I think it was Batman Begins. And then that was about it. This one is like, okay, fuck these theatrical villains. We don't, no clowns, no Man Bat, no Mr. Freeze. It's Batman versus the underworld, the criminal underworld, the mafia, what's his name? Falcone.
Yeah.
And there was another one, Salvatore. Oh shit. This is how much I'm a good fan. I don't know shit.
You know, I'm mad because you watch the animated movies that they release.
Okay. I remember the Batman Under the Red Hood. I love that one. That was pretty badass. And I've seen a bunch of them. I can't name them, but I've seen most of them. Is there something? I know they came out with a Long Halloween, which is what this movie is based on.
Yeah, yeah. So I saw that movie.
Yeah,
So
I gotta
once
watch him,
they
but I
had
haven't.
once they had the clue with um
The part two.
no the in the movie the Batman when they were figuring out the code
Oh,
and
okay, yeah.
the what is it that they say la Paloma sin
Oh yeah, it was like Spanish or something, and he kind of
well if you know Spanish you're gonna know anyways but
yeah.
I saw the movie I saw the animated movie I
Uh-huh.
like okay I already know who it
I like the little Easter egg of the Hush. Do you know that storyline, that comic book storyline?
No, a lot of people talk about it, but I never. And people talk about Hush and Coral Owls.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Those
never. I gotta read those.
yeah. I don't. Sorry, guys. I don't know a lot of like. I'll find something interesting and I'll go read like Wikipedia or I'll do a little bit more research. The
Yeah.
Hush storyline is basically a childhood friend of Bruce Wayne
Okay.
who basically has cosmetic surgery to look like him. And I
Uh-huh.
can't remember if he knows that he knows that Bruce Wayne's Batman, but he's like wrapped up in a bunch of like bandages and stuff. So he has the features of Bruce Wayne, and so he basically frames him for crimes and stuff to get back
Okay.
at him because his family, or the guy that's Hush, his family basically went on a downfall. Like they
Okay.
lost their money, there's this and that, and blah blah blah. And then it was almost like jealousy, like you have the life that I should have, or whatever. Court of Owls is like the secret society of Gotham's elite that are kind of behind a lot of things around Gotham City. Of course, I don't know the specifics. For anybody listening, go check out the Wikipedia page. I know I'm gonna go do that just to brush up on it, but I know, like you were saying, they're gonna do a Penguin spinoff show, kind of like they did Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Uh, that's gonna be interesting to kind of see how he. I think it's either an origin story or like it happens after the movie, how he kind of rises to power.
Yeah. I think it's after like you said like when he becomes the official Penguin, the
Yeah,
mobster.
and I know they're doing, or they have talked about, because like the Joaquin Phoenix Joker did so well. They're trying
Yeah.
to do like an origin for Mr. Freeze or another villain. Don't know exactly who, but it's gonna be like a HBO Max series.
And they wanted to do like focus on the police department, like the type of crime.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But
So a
I'm
lot.
trying to think like, are you I would like to see the Penguin, but are you interested in like the police department? Like,
I mean, they kind of did that with Gotham, the TV show on Fox, which okay, cool, but like if it's set in the same universe that Robert Patterson, because they've already come out and said that this isn't the same Earth as Ben Affleck and
yeah,
everybody in the same universe. It's its own deal, which is good. Keep them separate. Don't do don't try to be Marvel,
yeah,
because that ship has already sailed. We already seen how they've organized. It's like, no, stop. But go ahead and just build on what this is. And like, again, we had talked about the Joker. Everybody was, oh, who's going to be the Joker? Oh, this and that. They already did it. And they already kind of hinted at the end of the movie with the Riddler talking to a random dude in the
yeah,
Excel, making hints and Easter eggs. So they just said, fuck it, let's just give it to them so they shut the fuck up and we can move on.
yeah,
Which is cool, I have no problem with that. We can have the Joker almost like in a Hannibal Lecter scenario, like, which I think that deleted scene kind of hinted at. He's trying to get some input and the
yeah,
Joker just wants to fuck with him.
yeah.
And he obviously doesn't have any white skin. He doesn't look like he was dropped in acid. He looks like he got knocked. He looks like he got beat the fuck up. he looks bad.
But he has like that burn patch on his back or of his head.
Yeah, yeah. So there might have been some acid. You never know,
Yeah, like a
but
little bit of acid or something.
yeah, I mean, not crazy like RoboCop where the dude's coming off like
Yeah.
and gets run over and splat. um, I love. I don't know if they. In my head, that shit that he puts into his leg at close to the end of the movie, where he gets that adrenaline boost.
Yeah.
Either it was Venom for Bane or something. People had seen some people say that it was like a Venom type of liquid
It
because
could be.
it was green. It was kind of like light color, but at the same time, it could have just been like an
A drug.
EpiPen. Yeah,
Yeah.
like an EpiPen type of stuff because he was like, and like he was almost like just gonna pass out. And he just
Yeah, it was like the adrenaline shot that they give in the hospital. You know, God forbid you get shot or something like that.
and he just went ham on that dude, just started beating the
Yeah.
fuck out of him. And then ultimately, my niece, I took my nieces and nephew to go see it. And so my oldest niece took my youngest niece to the restroom. So she missed that part. So I was explaining it to her. And then she came back right around the time where he just basically cut the that loose electrical line because it was gonna electrocute everybody underneath the frame of the stage.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like saving them, kind of like helping them out of the stage and stuff. And so I'm explaining it to her, and then I'm like, that's when I started thinking, like, maybe that stuff he put in him was venom. Like maybe he was like Bane, like a hint that Bane's coming, for the next one. Who
Yeah.
knows? So I mean, only thing else we can discuss is just what do you see Catwoman coming back and them kind of like being like that. I know there was a lot of romantic tension between the two characters, like especially in the comics. I know in one comic storyline they actually bump uglies and have a daughter who becomes Huntress, or at least that's what the story. There used to be a show called Birds of Prey on WB
Yeah.
years ago, but that was the whole premise that Batman and Catwoman had a child and this child becomes this other superhero and blah blah blah.
The thing with me, I have this thing that like I would like to see the Batman character have a happy ending, because his whole thing is like, he's trying to overcome what happened with his parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he has this obsession, but this obsession is not really helping him, you know. He's
Yeah.
like it's like you're obsessed with keeping peace. It's not helping with his mindset. So they were doing this thing, the comics, where Batman and Catwoman, they were about to get married.
Okay.
And it was interesting because you got to see side of him of like hope that he could have his own family and just move on.
Yeah.
And they cut it off because like, oh, this is Batman. He can never be happy.
He has to
So
be a sad brute and adopt random
yeah,
kids and put them in harm's way.
yeah. But I don't know. I would like to see that, like, for her to return and I don't know, just not move out of Gotham, but like maybe work together and just
Yeah.
the society in place.
Well, what's your take on the ending from The Dark Knight Rises? Do you think that actually was real, or that was something that Alfred kind of just daydreamed about, that maybe one day he'd see him in the court, at a restaurant on vacation?
Nah, I think that was real because it was the only way. Well, for him to pretend is passing. It was the only way for him to get out of Gotham and move on with his life.
But to fake his death and kind of
Yeah,
end it that way.
but for me, I don't understand why he could just have Batman, the Batman personal die,
And
and that's
his
Bruce
and
Wayne.
I didn't they reveal his identity or no? I can't remember.
I don't. No, I don't.
I don't think they
No,
did. I think he just did it. He revealed himself in a way to Commissioner Gordon.
no. Commissioner Gordon find
Yeah,
out later on, like, oh, this is Bruce Wayne
yeah.
because of some.
He
He was
told
like,
him.
oh, because of you, the boy you saved many years
Yeah,
ago. And
I thought that was cool. I mean,
yeah. Oh, how you
was
feel about what's his name, Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Gordon in this movie?
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, I've seen him in a bunch of other things before this. I thought he was pretty badass in Westworld,
Yeah,
and then when he was cast, I don't have there's all this stuff where they, cast different people of different colors for characters that aren't, who cares? Who
yeah,
cares what color they are? I mean, make a black Superman, make a black Batman. I don't care as long as
yeah,
they do the character justice. I
yeah,
mean, even Spider-Man has Miles Morales, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's not Peter Parker, but a Spider-Man can be of different ethnicity and stuff.
yeah,
That's why I was like, like Catwoman, like I said before, Catwoman was played by three different women. Two of them were white, one of them was black, and nobody saw anything wrong with it,
yeah,
and so with him playing Commissioner Gordon, I had forgotten that, but it didn't deter from anything else, or it was like, I know they're doing that whole Batgirl. I think it's a movie or a series with the J.K. Simmons who played
yeah,
Commissioner Gordon in Batman versus Superman, and then they're bringing Michael Keaton. So with him, I mean, like they said, it's set in a different universe or a different Earth. I thought he did good. I like the dynamic between the two. I like that scene where he ain't gonna talk to y'all. He kind of gets him alone. He's like, punch me in the face, take my keys,
yeah.
go out the back door, and get your ass to the roof. I know you can fly, motherfucker.
Well,
um,
he was funny in this movie,
yeah,
but not in the way, not in the typical like Marvel type of funny.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like that scene, like okay, punch me in the face, and then
get get your ass to Mars. Get your ass to Mars.
and
You ever
then
seen
what
Total
was it?
Recall?
Yeah, yeah,
That suit. Okay, since we talked about it, he doesn't have a like Christian Bale. They kind of made it like, oh, that's fabric, is you can form it to anything and it float, or it'll help you glide or whatever. This dude
yeah,
actually had a parachute suit. He just zipped up
yeah.
and he lands, bro. He hits, his parachute gets caught under a bridge. He hits a bus. He falls over and he still gets up and limps away. Like, if that's not a nod to the comics, where if this was real, this motherfucker just be like, just
Yeah,
chill.
I like this guy's there or he's gonna
Yeah,
be with a broken leg or arm throughout the whole
exactly.
film. Where
Exactly, because he hit the fuck out of that bus under, like,
it was quick too. It like
yeah.
I like yeah. A
Um,
lot, a lot of people got mad because it was like, oh, this Batman doesn't know how to land. But it's like you're forgetting this is like year two Batman. He doesn't
yeah.
know. He doesn't got his stuff right. He's still having trouble with certain stuff.
He has a grappling hook gun, right? I believe he
Yeah,
does.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
I like that he uses it as a weapon too. The grappling gun.
yeah. Yeah, he grabbed a couple guys, and when we first see him, it's that scene of the I Am Vengeance. Did you notice? I should ask you with this first. Have you seen the Titans show?
No, I know my girl watches it.
Oh, you haven't seen Titans at all?
Nah.
Oh, bro, you got to check it out and see and come back. Tell me what you think, because I like the guy. There's a guy in that group of, like, that gang group or whatever, like one that kind of has his half face painted or whatever.
Oh,
I
is
don't know that.
it is a mask?
No.
It
It's
has a
like they're like, it's that those guys that have the white, like, who do you think you are? And he goes, I'm vengeance, and he beats the fuck
okay,
out of
okay,
him.
okay.
He's
Yeah.
one of those guys, but he's like maybe a recruit or something, and he's kind of like, they're trying to like initiate him, like, hey, rob that fool, or hey, beat that guy up. And
Okay, okay.
he's kind of like iffy. He's like, I don't know if I want to, but
Yeah,
if I
yeah, yeah,
don't,
yeah.
they're gonna kick my ass.
The young guy, yeah.
Yeah, that actor is actually in Titans, and he plays Tim Drake.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, and he shows up in the latest season of the Titans show. I think it's season 3, where they go into the Red Hood storyline with Robin getting beat, Jason Todd being killed by the Joker, and all this and other stuff. That doesn't go exactly with the comics. Like, he doesn't get resurrected by Ra's al Ghul, but he gets resurrected in a pit.
Yeah.
So I suggest watching it, and then of course, I mean, take the first season with a grain of salt, because I think they pitched it to be on TNT, but TNT didn't go with it, and so they released it on before HBO Max. It was called DC Universe. It was like, you paid subscription, and it was on that for a while, and then when HBO Max came, they just threw everything there, and now it's an original show like Doom Patrol.
Yeah,
but it was in the same boat. So yeah, I mean, I suggest if you want to check that out. I like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
But
I think I did want to see it, but then everyone's like, oh, that first season was atrocious, whatever.
yeah,
But I'll give it a try, because
yeah,
I do love Nightwing. That's my favorite DC character. I would like to see him in a film in the future.
yeah. Like, I was hoping that whole Ben Affleck, because we see the Robin suit, haha, with the jokes on you deal. So there's a hint at that storyline, but there's nothing else that comes of it. And when I saw the trailer, I was really hoping for something to go like Robin's in Bloodhaven. He doesn't want nothing to do with Ben Affleck, but they never. I mean, I don't know if it's because people thought Batman versus Superman was just such a joke or whatever. I liked it. I mean, if the theatrical cut is always going to be not the best version of what was produced. The ultimate version is probably, if you want to watch it, that's probably the best.
That was the first, because I didn't see it in theaters, the original.
Uh-huh.
So I saw it when it came out in the Ultimate Edition. So I got to see the whole thing instead of the theatrical one.
I think
I did like it.
Yeah, I think that version, and then the Zack Snyder cut, those are probably the best versions of those films. I mean, the Joss Whedon one, everybody knows that one was a joke. People didn't like it, too colorful, whatever reason.
In the theaters, I was like,
yeah.
I was like, I don't know what they're doing.
I mean, yeah, and so, really hoping for that. Like, okay, we get a Nightwing and we get a Red Hood and Jason Todd, and then maybe that could redeem that franchise, and then we keep going. But obviously, that ain't what happened, and so they said, "Fuck it, let's just go with the Flash." And I think they said they're pushing a lot of these releases back a year. Like, the Flash was supposed to come out this year, Aquaman 2 or Black Adam. A bunch of stuff was supposed to come out this year, and they pushed it back to next year for whatever reason.
I don't even know why. Are they planning to do something like?
It may be something like, like Batgirl might be doing something where it's like, oh, well, that can't be, that piece of information would come out better once this movie's out, after it comes, that kind of deal.
So we're only getting Peacemaker, and
I mean, Peacemaker was pretty badass. People were shitting on that too. It's like, why are you gonna give John Cena a show? And he fucking now you got motherfuckers doing the dance and shit on TikTok, and like people making the helmets on their 3D printers. So it's like, don't shit on something before it comes out because you want to be the cool kid in at the water cooler. Give it a chance. Remember. If it sucks, then shit on the motherfucker.
I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with like the DC fans, because when they said, oh, James Gunn is gonna do the new Suicide Squad movie, everybody was like,
why? He got canned from Marvel because of old tweets that he wrote. Like, this cancel culture, bro, like it's ridiculous. And so DC said, fuck it, we're gonna hire him. We see how good he did Guardians. Nobody knew who the fuck Guardians were. Let's be real. Unless you're a diehard comic book fan, you didn't know who they were. I remember seeing them on the cartoon. I think it was the Avengers.
The only one I knew was Rocket Raccoon, because what was it? Street Fighter versus Capcom a few years ago released.
Really? He was one of the characters?
Yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah. And so
You
yeah,
know.
so the James Gunn deal, and he goes and he does, or they guess they realize like, oh, well, if we don't hire him back, he's gonna be a DC director and this and that. So now he's back doing Guardians 3 and the holiday special that's gonna be
Yeah.
a Disney
And that
Plus.
and that's it for him. But
Yeah.
he's doing more for DC now.
Yeah, he's gonna do season 2 of Peacemaker.
And
But
knowing like 3 other stuff.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I think I know he's doing another spin-off. So he's gonna focus on one of the Suicide characters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking hopefully they'll do a Plastic Man movie with what the guy who voices in the Sonic movie, the one with the Sonic, Ben Schwartz. If you see him,
Okay, now yeah, you mean the Sonic movie. I thought you were talking like the video game one of the voice.
no.
Okay, I
No,
got you.
the
Yeah,
movie
yeah.
itself. Because
That dude's funny as
guy,
fuck.
the guy looks and acts like Plastic Man. And I know he's been trying to get it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that they're both following each other on the Twitter and stuff.
Okay.
So
That'd be
I'm hoping they're doing something with that.
that's Plastic Man. That's not. Oh, you ever watch the Batman the Brave and the Bold?
Yeah, so some episodes.
Was that him in the red and the sunglasses? Like he could be
Yeah.
like fantastic. Okay, I'm trying to put two together. I think I saw somewhere there might be doing a Ratcatcher 2 spinoff or
Yeah, but
something.
I'll be honest, I'm not really interested in that character.
Yeah, it's kind of like I'd rather see something with like Alba's character. Who did he play in Suicide Squad?
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport, or bring Deadshot back. Like I think they were gonna bring him back, but he had some conflicts or he couldn't shoot or something.
Yeah, so they're like.
But I'd love to see his character come back and blood and them do things. I really like the first. I mean, the first Suicide Squad was kind of dark and like that whole spooky gothic kind of way, but it wasn't bad to a certain area of point. But the Suicide Squad, the one that Peacemaker and all them are on, that blew everything out the water. That was awesome.
For me, the only thing that pissed me off was killing off Captain Boomerang.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was a good character in the first movie.
Yeah.
I'm
like, I love how they brought him back, but yeah, James Gunn even admitted, he's like, nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. Yeah, I thought Harley Quinn was gonna bite it.
Nah, they're not gonna kill her. I feel like they're with her, they're trying to like do like a Deadpool thing, like, you know, have her in a bunch of movies and, you know, like grab, you know, I feel like they're betting their money on her, the character itself. So I don't see her dying yet.
I mean, she sold a lot of baseball bats that said "Bad Girl" or some shit on it.
Yeah, I think
everybody dressed like her for Halloween that year, bro.
I think they made a bunch of money with her.
Oh yeah,
that year, man. The movie had its stuff, but fashion wise, it had every girl coming in as Harley Quinn.
Every big bitch wanted to be Harley Quinn. We were at a Comic-Con that year. And I swear I could have made a drinking game out of it. Oh, Harley Quinn, take a shot. Oh, Harley Quinn, take a shot. I'd have been fucked up in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, and that I remember I went, same thing, Comic-Con. It was Deadpool and Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I think that Adam Sandler movie, the Halloween one, made a joke about it.
Oh, Hubble Halloween.
Yeah,
I gotta watch that one. I haven't seen that one.
It's all right, but
yeah,
that was a funny joke because it was like the news reporters dressed as Harley Quinn, the weather woman's dressed as Harley Quinn.
Really? All the females were like, I'm Harley Quinn. Well, all right, Bubba. Let's wrap up on the Batman's final thoughts. We've got your top listing of Batman movies. Before we go, who are your top Batman actors?
Oh, top.
And it has to be 5. You have to pick 5, the top being the best Batman Bruce Wayne actor, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It has to be actor, right? Not even voice actor.
No, Batman movies, bro.
Oh, movie.
I mean,
Okay.
voice actor. Trying to think who was the one that I think it's the guy from Supernatural. He voices him, right? In one of the films.
I think so, but the main one is Kevin Conroy.
Oh yeah, of course.
That
But yeah. No, it has to be. He actually has to have worn the cowl.
okay.
In front of. I mean, don't get me wrong. Kevin Conroy is.
He did act as Batman
Forever. We met him at a Comic-Con. He was such a nice guy. It was so cool. Damn. Now I want to include, but no, it has to be actor, bro. It has to be actor.
All right.
We'll give best mentions.
Okay, so number 1, I will put. Damn, this is hard.
Yeah, it is
No,
hard.
I say the Batman 89.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, because it was a perfect mixture of great craziness, and I don't know how to explain it. The guy was he had like his greatness.
He had his moments where he's like, like that scene where do you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get yeah. Okay, so that's one.
Second, I think I have to put Ben Affleck. I feel like he would have been he had that potential if it wasn't for the studio. Yeah. But he has the Ben Affleck is really a playboy in real life.
Yeah.
he could be Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
And he could be Batman. But the studio, they don't know what to do with him.
I think he's coming back for that Batgirl or the Flash movie. But I think they're gonna kill him off from what I hear. But
no, what could happen is because it's like the multiverse or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they might like reset the whole DCU.
Yeah, the Flash is gonna do some shit.
Yeah, that's which gonna suck because I feel like he had the best Batman and he had the best Superman.
He had the potential to be probably the best of them all because like you said, he's a playboy in real life. Like he was married to Jennifer Garner. Now he's back with J-Lo.
And you have a guy who could direct, write, and act. So they lost a great potential.
Yeah.
Anyway, third, I would put Christian Bale.
Okay.
Even though I had my opinions on him, I feel like it was more on the villains that kind of made
the movie.
Yeah.
How did you feel about his voice? Like, I know they made a lot of parodies of I talk like this.
I don't know. Not thinking about it, like it seemed more cornier than.
Yeah.
I like that in the Batfleck, it was like a modulator.
Yeah. Where it kind of dampened his voice or whatever. Yeah.
But
that's
Christian Bale, he put on the muscles and everything.
Yeah, he does get into his roles. I know what was that movie, The Machinist?
Yeah,
he lost a shit ton of weight, where basically starved himself. And then right after that, he got Batman Begins and he just bulked up. So, and then he filled up the fuck out on the Terminator set. But hey, you know it is. So number 4?
I will put Robert Pattinson. I think like I really like his Batman. Like like we don't see much of Bruce Wayne yet.
Yeah, because he's still like.
Yeah, he's still new, and I kind of get it. Maybe later on he'll be the playboy. He'll play the part. But maybe after the second movie he'll go up. Who knows? You know.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got potential. Like you said, he's a good actor. He's not just a Twilight guy. He's
No, he's a
before he
great.
was, but like he's been in a bunch of other films since then, independent. And there was one movie I'd heard where he really killed it. He was really good in it. I can't think of it right now, but I want to check it out. And I would, to be honest, the whole Twilight series, it wasn't him that deterred me from watching. For like, oh, I don't want to watch it because that chick was just like a fish,
Yeah, I was watching the movie
like
and
a
I'm
chick
like,
getting banged, and she just like what the fuck?
the whole time she like, uh.
I'm a vampire now. And then like
Yeah,
that whole like my chick loves those films, so she'll watch them
yeah.
from time when they're on playing on TV. That's what okay, that's what we're watching, I guess. Okay, cool.
When
And
that
it's
movie
always
came
around the
out,
same, yeah, it's always around the same time. It's like the last movie where she has a kid or she's pregnant with the kid, and then like a month later, the kid is like 4 years old. Like, what the fuck?
yeah,
All right, who's your last Batman? Who gets on that Mount Rushmore of Batman?
I would pull. This is hard.
Yeah, because you're picking from the bottom of the barrel now.
Yeah. I think it's a one guy that I think he could have had the potential if he wasn't in the worst movie ever. I would put George Clooney.
Ah, man, George Clooney wouldn't even put George Clooney in that fucking list, bro. To be honest, he actually admits it. Poor guy.
Yeah, but I
Wait, I
think
get it. I get
I
it.
think if let's say like if they did like a older Batman,
Yeah, and they could bring him back,
yeah, I think he could.
redeem himself. I get you. I
Yeah,
get you.
it could have been Val Kilmer, but I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
now Val Kilmer, like, I don't know if you've seen that his documentary on Amazon, but like, he was at a Comic-Con here in San Antonio, but it was like he was closed off. Like, you know how you walk by, you go, oh, I saw so, someone could snap a picture or whatever. He was kind of guarded off, and then I came to realize like he's kind of like been not in the tip top of shape, and he's kind of like, I think he has like throat cancer or something. I don't know.
His documentary came out on Hulu.
Yeah, yeah. And so yeah, if they were to bring him back, it would probably be
Like an 80-year-old Batman who
yeah, like a bat. I'm thinking. I mean, I don't know about you. Yeah, you're a bit younger than me. Like a Batman Beyond live action film or a series on
yeah,
HBO Max where
yeah,
you actually get an actual like Michael Keaton or somebody else to reprise that role and someone else. I always thought that was cool. I always enjoyed the Return of the Joker, that storyline.
yeah.
That is trippy as fuck. My brother, who's not really into anything comic book or superhero wise, he watched it and he was like, dude, can you believe this shit? Like, bro, come on now.
Somebody showed a clip of that movie like on Twitter
Yeah.
when because they released the Joker thing
Yeah.
yesterday. I like wow, I can't believe I was able to watch this in Cartoon
Um,
Network.
yeah, like I think that's something that a lot of things that Star Wars is getting, which is backed by the fans, is because the director and the people behind creating these shows and whatever, they're fans themselves of a lot of stuff like what's his name? The dude from Iron Man. Oh,
Yeah, John Favreau.
Favreau, yeah,
Favreau.
and Robert
Yeah,
Rodriguez too. He directed some of the Mandalorian episodes. So it's like fans know what the fans want, especially if they're that caliber of a creative, like director, producer, whatever.
I
It's
have a
just
question though.
what's up, bro?
You don't think it's I don't know why Warner Brothers don't do this, which I think it would have been the best thing for them. Why they can't do a Batman TV show with the type of budget they have?
They try to with like, but I think they feel like the Batman character is made for motion picture. Like if we're gonna put this character, it's almost like they don't. I mean, they don't have a Spider-Man TV show. A lot of the Netflix stuff, was like lower, like Daredevil was kind of like not at the top of like, where like Captain America was or whatever. But at the same time, a lot of lower known or lower used characters, you have a lot of leeway creatively. Like you can make Daredevil like the most kick-ass character next to the Punisher or whatever. With Batman, it's like, yeah, we need this dude for the film. We can do a TV show on Alfred. We can do a TV show on his sidekicks, the whole Titans deal. But Batman himself, nah, we're gonna leave him, that character for a movie. We got an idea for a movie for him. So
but it's weird because you have
which is weird too because they got a Superman show.
Yeah, but it's been like 5 Superman shows.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
And I heard this one is great. This Superman show.
I heard that too. I haven't seen it, but
the CGI look like came from a movie.
I heard compared to Calvo, what's his name? Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
This dude playing Superman is probably the best. He plays Superman and Clark Kent to a T.
But I feel bad for Henry because I have you seen The Witcher?
Nuh-uh.
The guy's a fan of The Witcher, right? The video games.
Oh, yeah, okay, I got you now. Yeah.
And he plays the character well.
Really?
Yeah,
now, it's a video game and a book series, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they made
I know the video game. I've seen the covers at GameStop and stuff like that.
So they made the Netflix shows, and he was a fan before the show and everything, and he portrays the character very well. And I feel bad because I feel like he could be a great Superman, but they're not writing the Superman that should be,
he's the voice out. He's the TV show Superman. He's not motion picture Man of Steel, what we're looking for. Even though I really wish the CW, I mean, they did that whole thing where the 2 Flashes met each other. And they're kind of like, yeah. And so, but like the CW did their universe so well. And it was TV show. It was episodic. So you didn't see it in like an hour and a half to 2 hours to 3 hours. You saw it grow episode by episode by episode. I'm going the wrong way. Episode by episode. And so there's room to grow and like meet new characters, especially like a lot of these characters that we see on like the Flash actually show up in the movie. Like I think the Polka Dot Man was one.
Yeah.
And then, the guy who played the Polka Dot Man, he played a character on the Flash. King Shark on the Flash was pretty like raw, and then he was on Suicide Squad like, hey, everybody. But at the same time, that's a character we've never seen on either TV show or silver screen. So it's like it's cool to see that character, and I wish they would have did Killer Croc better. I like how they did Killer Croc in the video games. You remember Arkham Asylum?
Yeah.
I like how they did him there. And then I think, aren't they going to do something with Arkham Asylum in a show or a future sequel?
Yeah. Remember I told you the cop show that they want to do?
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So it has to do with Arkham.
And the Gotham Police. Right?
Yeah. So
okay.
I really don't know what they're trying to do over there.
Yeah, they don't know what the fuck they're doing, bro.
I just hope that they don't mess up,
Yeah, I got you.
Because you have Peacemaker, you have Suicide Squad with James Gunn, you have this Batman film that was great.
Yeah.
Shazam is coming out this year.
Shazam 2 or Black Adam?
No, Shazam 2.
Okay.
But Black Adam, I think they move it next year.
Yeah, that was one of the ones. I've seen the trailers for that. It looks all right. You get Hawkman and Dr. Fate.
Yeah.
So that's some cool people that I think is Stargirl in it, or am I thinking of Smallville?
No, Stargirl has her own show.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I remember years ago, 2007, they were like, "Oh, The Rock is gonna be Black Adam."
Yeah. He's been trying to be Black Adam or trying to get it rolling for a while.
I wonder why. out of all the
He's a
characters.
fan. He's a fan. He's come out and said that he's a fan of that character of the comics. And then, I mean, I as a person who he said he came up with $7 in his pocket, and to be at the level he's at now, it's awesome. And it's like, all right, motherfucker, you Black Adam, don't fuck it up.
Yeah,
You know, because
it's
Black
like
Adam
Ryan
is the
Reynolds.
Shazam. Yeah, like Green Lantern, I wish it didn't suck as bad as it did. But the same, I mean, because Ryan Reynolds, I mean, he has a history of having bad, like Deadpool in Wolverine Origins.
Yeah,
I was like, damn. But he redeemed himself, came back as actual Deadpool.
yeah.
And then, yeah, so maybe they'll do a Green Lantern. I know they showed the actor that did Green Lantern in the Snyder
Yeah.
cut. He released an image of him in the costume. Green Lantern, Green Arrow, a lot of characters that we know have the potential to come back or had the potential for Zack Snyder's universe. Since we were kind of talking about the Joker, what was your take on Zack Snyder's Jared Leto's Joker and that scene of him in a post-apocalyptic world?
I mean, I like that he didn't have the tattoo and the danger
Yeah,
tattoo.
yeah.
I don't know.
Do you think his attempt at that character was like almost like Ben Affleck? Like, man, if only they wasn't in that situation. Maybe if it was like you said, he had the tattoos on his face, and I don't have a permanent grin. It's just a tattoo on my face. But he did kind of like he did become that character in a way. Like I think he flipped out at a concert with people, and they were like, "Is this dude on drugs? What the fuck's wrong?" But he was still in character. I like Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. I thought that was good,
yeah.
but everybody it's funny because you make something as a one and done, as good as it becomes and as good as it's received by the audience, you're always going to get those people that want to like trying to connect it to something else, like, oh, why don't we see an actual Batman, or is this guy in this universe, and is he going to be Robert Pattinson's Batman? You know, it was set in the 70s or the 80s, and is he going to be an older man? And like they're trying to make it something that it's not. It's just like, just accept it for what it is, appreciate it, and then at the same time, hopefully, maybe it'll come full circle and it'll be what you want. But everybody's just ooh, 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 ooh. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that I don't know what's wrong with. I feel like people are like they don't appreciate what they see now. You know,
Yeah.
it's like take it what it is, and that's it. Like
Yeah.
don't. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like, are we too privileged that we're getting so much great stuff in
Yeah.
animation and movies and TVs
Yeah.
that you're like that people are expecting
People,
for example, right? Um the latest WWE game came out, right?
mm-hmm.
And it was great, especially compared to the last one, right?
Yeah. I mean,
And
I
you
had the one for Switch, and I was pissed off because that lagged like a motherfucker.
I know.
Like I wanted to keep it. I'm just like, nah, I can't keep this fucking game as much as I want to play, you know. And then I don't have any other. I just have a Switch, so I'm like, oh, are they gonna make the next one the Switch game? That's like, no, we're done with Switch. Like, well,
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
But
But yeah, the game is great, right? It plays great wherever. But there's still people that find one little thing to cry about, like
mm-hmm.
because all the um
The
they don't use
graphics or something,
no they,
something.
like all the wrestlers don't use that attire anymore,
Oh,
or
okay.
it, little dumb stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, like I get mad because like it's nothing for you to cry about.
It's just a shirt, or it's just a like Rey
Yeah,
Mysterio's mask. Because oh, he don't use it
or
no more.
and these people update the game, the studio or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
wait on it, like stop crying. It's like, and this movie too, like this movie was great, and there's still people that are like, oh, why, like that scene that he fell. It's
And
like,
everybody,
yeah, he fell off because he's still new to this. It's probably
yeah,
the first time he wore the parachute.
yeah.
But people, I don't know what's wrong with people.
Everybody finds something to bitch about, bro. Like when I
Yeah.
started this podcast, part of the segment was where I would talk about trailers that came out, and people
Uh-huh.
at the time the Sonic trailer came out, and everybody lost their fucking mind because
Yeah.
of the design, to the point where they went back and redid the design, and they pushed the movie back, and the movie came out, and everybody's like, oh, now it looks better, or something. For whatever reason, I think it's his teeth or some shit. Oh, and then now look at it. It's got a sequel coming up with Jim Carrey, who I always thought didn't like doing sequels. He didn't do
Yeah.
sequels. I mean, he barely did Dumb and Dumber 2.
And I thought he was like becoming serious, like he don't want to do
Yeah.
something goofy anymore.
But I mean, I mean, I haven't seen the Sonic one in full, but the parts that I did see, he was entertaining, and I like how they're going back to the actual, okay, he went to the Sonic world and he came back and now he's bald and this and that. I like how they kind of brought it back to, because I think in the film he had hair and this and other stuff. And then
Yeah.
Knuckles, I remember as a kid growing up thinking Knuckles was always a bad guy, but he was just a misinformed bad guy that became
Yeah.
friends late in the game. So, but yeah, man, shit, that's a
And
lot of.
that studio that rebuilt the CGI,
uh
they shut down.
Really,
Yeah.
because of what happened, or just budgets and stuff, or COVID?
I think it was, I don't know why. I didn't, but they shut down, and
Hmm.
it's kind of upsetting because like
I mean,
they
they made that motherfucker look a lot better than he did.
yeah, they made it better. Everybody loves the film now. They consider it the best game turned to movie
Yeah.
film.
But yeah,
And
that's what I was getting to. Is like everybody bitches and complains. It's almost like the little baby that's crying at the dinner table because there's no nuggets.
yeah,
And
okay.
and you're like, no, you're gonna like spaghetti. No, I want no, 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 no. Like, so you have to go in the kitchen, make nuggets and fries so they're happy. So, I mean, yeah, like you said, a lot of us as an audience were privileged, and then now we have a soapbox, a Twitter account or a Facebook account or anything. I've always said social media is a double-edged sword. It's good to reconnect and connect with people, and like, hey, I haven't seen you since high school, and blah blah blah. But at the same time, it's like nobody wants to hear you bitch and moan about whatever it is you have to want to bitch and moan about. Like before Twitter and stuff like that, if I was mad about something that happened to me, like traffic wise or whatever, I come home and gripe to my wife about it, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
My audience is one person and the wall that we're surrounded by. If I go on Twitter and this motherfucker cut me off, blah blah blah, and it's like scroll, scroll, and I go and look, and maybe one or two people like it. It's almost like there's a joke. I can't remember who says the joke, where like somebody walks into a Target and it's bitching about, I think it's Bill Burr, bitching about something racist or something, or like these Mexicans, blah blah blah, and he's like, oh my god, no, get away from that guy. And then someone is like, yeah, no, and they eat beans and this and that, and I'm like, oh shit, now there's two of them.
Yeah.
Fuck. So, all right, brother, I want to thank you
Alright.
for hopping on and giving your take on the Batman. Go ahead and plug your stuff. Let the people know, let the 10s to 15 people know where to find you, what you're doing. The floor is yours, brother.
All right. You guys could follow me at was it JJ _Claxton on Twitter. I'm on JJ Claxton also on Instagram. Go follow the Keeping It 100 on TikTok, which is K100 of K. Wait, let me make sure it's correct.
Yeah, I'm pulling it. Your Twitter account is at JJ _Claxton.
Okay. And the K100 on TikTok is at K100 Podcast. And yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, and
I don't
of
got
course
much.
I'll plug it in the description, guys. Y'all go down there, give my boy a follow, check out his stuff on Twitter, and check out what he's doing for the K100 boys. Dude, like I tell everybody, you know, behind the scenes or in front of the camera, whenever you want to jump on and do an episode, whether it's talking about something new, one of the movies that I'm gonna talk about in the future, open invite. You know what I mean?
No, thank you. I always wanted because you always mention the podcast on the K100,
Yeah, I'm
and
always plugging.
I love movies, so I like to talk about it. So
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, man. We're part of the K100 Patreon. Or go buy if you're gonna buy a Patreon, get something that's not just wrestling talk. They talk about all kinds of stuff, politics, random stuff. They're showcasing a lot of people. I think they just had Nick Aldis on to do the juicy seal of on the music videos, and then they don't like it when you talk about Get My Go, but go check out Get My Go. Those dudes are
Yeah.
are doing their thing. I did reach out to Disco one time and tell them, hey, or both of them, if they wanted to do, how much would it be to get them on a podcast? And Disco's like, I'll just do it for you, girl. But it's gonna be down the line to see how my schedule is. That fool does not have a DM option on his Twitter account, so it's like, do I shoot him a tweet? I shot him a tweet, nothing, crickets.
When
And
they
then
reach me.
and then a buddy of mine was like, well, does he have an Instagram? I was like, yeah. Well, follow, shoot your shot there, and I did. Crickets, but it's all good. They're busy, and it ain't no skin off me. You know what I mean? I just appreciate the opportunity to talk about random stuff, and if you're a fan of JJ's and you're seeing this for the first time, hit me up at Shut Up Popcorn on Twitter, shutuppopcorn.com. You can check out, everything, links and all that stuff. But again, brother, I just want to tell you thank you, and keep doing what you're doing, bro. I'm a fan. I'm liking. I see you like my stuff too.
Oh yeah, and I like your TikTok page.
Yeah, I'm just a goof, bro. I'm
Yeah.
I'm a clown, bro. I'm a clown.
Yeah.
But nah, like this whole March, this whole thing. I do buy 2 episodes a month, but on March to commemorate when I started this 3 years ago, last year I decided to do weekly episodes, every Friday instead of every other Friday.
Yeah.
Well, then I reached out to a lot of people and they're like, yeah, let's do an episode. Yeah, let's do an episode. I kept getting response. I'm like, oh shit. So I have a lot of stuff in the can and I don't want to be a dick and be like, oh, hey, your episode's going to come back in May.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Your episode's coming out Friday. His episode's coming out on Monday. And then a lot of the stuff, I had 2 guys that we didn't even talk about a bad movie. We talked about good movies and new stuff that came out, which is a typical podcast will go in and be like, oh, we just reviewed Karate Kid, or oh, hey, we just saw the new Batman. And it's like that extra stuff I have in a sister feed.
Yeah.
The extra butter feed is where you're going to get all the reviews on new shows and my thoughts on movies that came out and actual entertainment podcast stuff. The main feed is strictly the bad sequel that everybody either doesn't like or it's like, you know what, this one really sucked compared to the first one. And, so I tried, but March, I said, fuck it. Everything is going on the main feed just to kind of push traffic to that other sister feed. Hey, if you like what you hear here, this is kind of the gimmick on this other sister, this podcast feed. But again, bro, I want to thank you. And like I said, you're more than welcome to hit me up and join me again. And with that being said, I want to say, if you ain't laughing, you ain't living. Take care of yourself and the ones you love. Nanu. Peace.